All right, welcome back here to Hindel Bowl here at the Indiana Senior Masters Championship. We're in the elimination round 3. And here are your pairs and your competitors. On 5 and 6, Bob Cameron's taking on Danny Clark. On 9 and 10, Ron Jonas is taking on Jeff Graham. 13 and 14, John Riffle and Dexter Harrod, or Harrod, I believe. And then Leslie Snyder and Joe Didion Sr. on 17 and 18. So those are your matchups right now in this round. And we are moving right along here in this championship. We're down to 12 players. We got 4 winners, and your undefeated bowlers are Mike Mann, Trent Marner, David Clemens, and Jeff Bowman, and a very gracious Tim Mack.
And speaking of Tim Mack, let's all fall on this one since I had a mental breakdown on that, and I thought he was a kicker. He said he did long snapping, so maybe that's where I'm going to say that's how I got confused.
I should have bet.
You were correct on the fullback.
I should have bet you.
You were correct on the fullback.
I could have got some. I could have got some free skating.
Yes.
At the ice rink.
Oh, you can still get that. But,
all right.
But yeah, that's where. And let it be known that I was willing to stand another game, and I come over and you're sitting down.
I know.
So
I know.
And you're not even in the senior category yet.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I would love to skate. I would probably hurt myself, but I might give it a shot sometime.
Well, see, I always thought I would, but I can't stop unless I hit something. So
okay.
I felt like that
you
was
got
a
padded
negative.
walls down there, or what?
No, they are not.
Maybe I'll have to bring the kids down there.
Yeah. Oh, come on. We have the outdoor rink you'd love, probably.
I know my wife would probably love to try it. Okay, and again, we have 4 guys that are sitting out that are in the winner's bracket. And we have 2, 4, 6, 8 in the loser's bracket. And after this round, we'll be down just to 8 players.
Wow. And we are sitting down in honor of the 4 that are sitting out this round.
Yes. All right, Danny Clark right here in front of us on lanes 5 and 6. And
tournament leader, what a great finish the last game to knock off one of the best in the world, Tim Mack.
It's great to talk to Tim. And
he's one of the good people. Yeah, one of the good people.
So gracious. A lot of
lose
guys.
Or draw, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't tell that he just got knocked out in 2 straight games, could you?
No, he just loves this sport so much and the people in it, and wow, we could use more of him.
Very well-respected ambassador of the game.
Worldwide for sure.
And is probably, as well as he's known in the States, and that's, everybody knows who Tim Mack is. He is just that familiar of a face overseas.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
He's
most
been,
definitely.
A lot of his territory was overseas for years.
And one reason in the Hall of Fame is because he was one of those. He's the person that kind of got all the foreign players to come here. They would see him when he'd go over there and beat them, and then they came here to the U.S. and so that's what's really opened up the market on the top bowling side is all the players who come from all over the world, and that's because of Tim Mack's success.
Yeah, you have Jesper Svensson, Don Barrett, those kind of guys that. And there's a lot more that came over earlier that no longer participate overseas or in the States that gave the U.S. tour a shot.
Well, you go way back, and Amleto Monticelli was one in the early '80s that came here and still bowls well and wins seniors events. And we had Mats Carlson from Sweden, who was a several-time champion on the PBA tour that came over in the '80s as well.
And you talk about a deliberate player.
Yeah. No, Mats, he was unbelievable. I
remember as a kid watching. I'd never miss the ABC telecast of the PBA Tour on ABC, and I always, and this was not a knock against Mats, I couldn't stand it when he made TV show because he was so slow, and Schlegel was another one that was super slow that. You
didn't want to cross by them because they slowed down your cross big time. Yeah, there was and it's surprising, when you have that limit of 25 or 30 seconds to throw a shot, and they use it every second of it. I mean, it adds up over a game. I mean, it really does. It didn't seem like that much, but boy, when you're trying to keep your rhythm going, it is. So it was a challenge when you bowled around those guys.
All right, we got split screen here. We're showing you both ends of the house. Well done, Chad. And we got Bob Cameron who just threw a strike, and he was working on an open frame in the 5th. He is down 28 to Danny Clark. And Jeff Graham is taking on Ron Jonas, and there's a lot of strikes on this pair on 9 and 10. And Jeff Graham strikes again. A couple of left-handers battling each other.
And he just kicked out a solid 8 a second ago on that string.
And he's got a 5-bagger, and Jeff was the victim of the fortunate pin carry for Trent Marner in the previous round when he somehow tripped out the 3, 4, 7, 8 in the 9th frame for a strike. And who would have wanted to shoot that spare? That's probably the toughest spare, non-split spare in the game. And Jonas, solid 7 in the 9th frame. And the lefties are kind of showing their power right here, Mike. We got 3 in the winner's bracket, and now the lefties are really showing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that changes from match to match. But if it's going to be tough for the right-handers now because it may not matter what it changes like. There may just be all lefties here shortly, but a lot of great players still left. Good spare on that by Dexter.
Now we've got John Riffle down here on 13 and 14, taking on Dexter Harrod. Now Danny Clark here in front of us with a double in the 7th and 8th frame.
Trip that 6 off the wall.
Again, want to thank all of you watching here, the inaugural Indiana Senior Masters Championship from Hindel Bowl in Indianapolis, Indiana. Scott Gilmore, Mike Albee here in the broadcast booth. And want to thank our sponsors, Mike Albee's Arrowhead Bowl, Big Four Socks, Pinheads Bowling Center, and Motive Bowling. Want to thank those sponsors for their contributions to make this telecast possible. And right as I was saying that, right in front of us, Bob Cameron just Greek churched, and that's probably going to do it for him. But a great kickoff to the Senior Masters here. Great turnout this weekend. They bowled 2 qualifying squads yesterday on Saturday, and now we have the top 16 here bowling on Sunday. And 248 finish for Ron Jonas. And we're going to switch it right here. And Jeff Graham with 5 in a row. I'm not sure what he had leading up to that front 5, but 248's a solid game.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that from here. We'll know by reaction, I can tell you that. Wow, good shot. Well, he didn't react, so that was a good shot. One heck of a shot.
Well, and you know what? That's kind of what you want. You just steady Eddie, you know. You just not too high, not too low, and you don't want to. You want to.
Yeah, be careful not to alter your release when you get too excited or too lack of excitement. You know, you want to have that crisp release.
Well, and like a lot of top players in any sport, they have to control the adrenaline. And those that do it well perform at a high level.
Exactly. Good shot.
Oh my
crossover.
goodness.
Trips the 4.
Brooklyn strike for a 7-bagger. I'm going to say that one probably did in, Doc. What do? You're going to shoot 248, which is probably going to be the highest losing score this round.
Well, I can only think from experience. I'm not going to be very excited about that, I can tell you.
You don't win extra points, do you?
Hey, you lost for the highest game. Oh.
And he comes in high, 8 count.
It's going to be a surprise.
Well, it was a clean game, so
well, that'll tell you right there.
that he's got to be in the 250s or 60s. 258. He had to have that second one in the 10.
Now I'm even more a degree of upset. If I had. But that's what happens. I mean, and that's why you don't look at your opponent. You just don't see what they do. You don't need to know it other than what they got.
Well, and he had to have the second one in the 10th frame.
He did. And I guess if you look at it, you see there was a reaction when it did cross over and he got it. There was a reaction from him that was good. Otherwise, you get one of those, you just kind of walk away and keep your head down.
Well, and you can kind of see maybe why it crossed over, because he knew he had to have it.
Yeah, a little help. Yeah.
It wasn't going to go left.
No. Wow.
And
great games.
He was the victim of a really fortunate break the round before, right?
Yeah.
So I guess.
Yeah.
And
speaking of that, did you see Trent Martyr just shooting a 247 with a backup ball, trying to pick it up? So, even though our winners bracket group has been practicing the whole time over here, so much for a break.
Yeah, they're down here throwing warm-up shots to stay loose, and Danny Clark shoots 249 against Bob Kammer. Most Bob can shoot's 188, but
well, Danny Clark again, nothing but striking out in the 8th, 9th, and 10th every game. I mean, that's the thing, boy. That's where you want to be able to get those strikes and finish the game off when you need it.
Well, the right-handers that are left are thinking the only way we're going to get rid of these left-handers is if they face one another.
Yeah, but there's so many left-handers. It's going to be eventually that plan may not work out so well.
And I don't know. We go into certain centers around the state, and everybody will say, there's just something to that center that favors one side or the other. I don't know if that's the case here at Hindel, but All-Star Bowl in Indianapolis was always one that was known to be left-sided friendly, but you're always going to have those arguments that we talked about earlier,
right? I think
you
always have that. It's one of those things I never really try to pay too much attention to it. I mean, it's if I'm not throwing the ball well enough, it's not going to matter what advantage or disadvantage I have. So.
Well, it looks like John Riffle shot 174, and it looks like his opponent,
He's
which
on
would
a
be
177 pace with a strike spare.
Yeah, Dexter Rod just needs to mark here and get good count.
Well, you don't want to lose the count on the first ball, so he's on a spare. So.
Man, John opened in the 10th. He had a chance to end the match.
Yeah.
Boy, there's nothing more frustrating as a player when you have an opportunity to win your game outright by your own doing.
Yeah.
You leave it open.
Wow, good shot in the 10th, first one.
Now he's just going to have to get a good count here.
A total of 8, I think, right?
Yep. You definitely don't want to Greek church or do something strange here. 4 through the middle. So we know Danny won. We don't know about Leslie. Jeff Graham won.
And this shot here will tell you a lot about this match.
And now will Dexter Harrod defeat John Riffle? Yes.
Nice shot. 2 good shots in the 10th there.
Well, they're not going to waste any time.
I was going to say that, yeah.
They're going to go right into the next round. All right, that concludes this round, and we'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back for the round 4 here of the Indiana Senior Masters here on Savage Bowling TV.